Hey everyone, welcome back to the second part of where we were designing a shopping UI with React Native. This is the second part of that video, so if you haven't seen the first part, then please do check it out and then come back to this part. So first of all, let's see where we have left it in the first part. So in the first part, we have managed to create the home screen where we added a grid view, then we have added a masonry grid list, then these chips, and we have managed to create this filter, this filter section and this awesome blur. So in this video we will cover how we can create this slider range selector, and as you can see, this is a scroll view, so we will implement React Native bottom sheet with scroll. So when we scroll up, it should close. Right now it's just scrolling, so we have to implement that. So we will implement that, then we have to navigate between this screen to our detail screen. So we will implement the detail screen in this video. And as you can see, in the last video we were using iPhone 14 Pro Max, which was slightly bigger than iPhone 14 Pro, and right now I'm running it on iPhone 14 Pro, and you can see these texts are too big. As you can see, this is taking too much space, and these chips are also too big. So we will make this make some slight adjustment for these buttons and these layouts as well. And we also going to implement dark mode in this video, and we also try to clean up some code as well. So yeah, let's get started. So I would like to start with the detail screen. So whenever we click on this screen, we will open a detail screen. So this is our detail screen, as you can see right here. Currently it has nothing but a detail screen text. So let's go to our root screen. As you can see, we were implementing, we have added our detail screen here. So let's go to our home screen. And also in the background I have added some dummy data, as you can see here. These are the dummy data for this list. So we can display random images for each card. And now let's go to the card, and inside the card we will replace this view with touchable opacity, and let's add type for our on press. We will use this on press type. Let's see, first just add it here, and then now we can access that on press right here. So whenever someone presses in this card, it will trigger this function. So on press we will be navigate, but as you can see we don't have navigation, so we have to import navigation from here. So let's do that. We have any, but to get navigation here we have to because we are using TypeScript, we have to get the screen props based on the navigator we are inside. So let's export screen props right here. I don't know if you are familiar with this or not, so let's do this first, and then I will explain you why I am doing that. So let's export a type root stack screen props, and it will be a native stack screen props, and it will take a root stack param list, and the second parameter is going to be the screen name I'm currently using. Okay, so as you can see, it's giving me two screen names, detail screen or tab stack screen. So these are these two screens right here. But we are not going to hard coded this screen names, because we want to use this inside our tab stack plus our home stack and other screens in the future. So we are not going to hardcode this type right here, so we have to create a generic for this. So let's t extends. It will extend each how can I say that, each object name. So we want to each object keys. So let's extend each object keys root stack param list. So this right here, this property will give me a list of all the keys inside this type. So the T is right now a array of tab stack and detail stack string. So now we can just simply pass that right here. So yeah, so we'll see it later how we can use this generic. So let's move on to the tab stack and let's add same thing right here. Type tab stack screen props. This will also extend the generic. Use the same generic tab stack screen param list. And for this, because this is a nested stack, because this stack is nested here, so this is a nested tab of root stack param list, we have to use a different we have to wrap the two stack with composite screen props. We have to use this composite screen props. Inside that we have to add our bottom tabs screen props, which will take our tab stack param list and a t. This is the same thing. If your nested stack uses native stack navigator, then you have to use native tab screen props. Because we are using tabs bottom tab navigator, we are using bottom tab screen props. Okay, and the next thing it will take is our root stack param list, root stack screen props. Sorry, this will take our root stack screen props, and here we have to as you can see, we because of the generic right here, we will get to choose which screen it is. So you know that this is a tab stack screen, so we are choosing tab stack right here. So yeah, this is our tab stack screen props and this is our root stack screen props. I know this is a bit confusing at first. It took a lot of time for me to get my head around with this thing, but yeah, you will eventually get it if you practice it. So let's go to our home screen and let's add tab stack screen props right here. Because why we are using tab stack instead of root stack, because home screen is inside our tab stack. As you can see right here, this is our home screen, and home screen is inside our tab stack parameters, so we have to use the tab stack screen props right here. So if we check what type of screens do we have, you can see we have home screen, card screen, payment screen, or profile screen. So we will choose home screen right here. And we also, now if we check what we have inside this object, you can see we have a route and a navigation. So now we get a navigation for this screen. Okay, so if you are using JavaScript, you don't have to do any of this. You will just get the navigation right here. You could use any right here, then you didn't have to do any of those, but you won't be getting any type of auto completion or errors that you will get with this screen props. So we will see what type of auto completions and errors we will get from this. So first, let's just use it as it is. So here we have our navigation. So now let's go to our card and add that. So here we have our navigation, and then navigation.navigate, and if we type string, and then you will see we have lots of screen auto completions, like we can go to cart details, home, payment, profile stack, everywhere. So we will use our detail screen, and somehow if you make a typo, then it will also give you error, because we don't have a details to screen, right? So it will give you error for that. So this is a great thing to have. So now let's go to our detail screen and add the same thing, but for detail screen we will add our root stack screen props. And now here we have our detail screen. We are using root stack screen props because our detail screen is in the root stack, as you can see here, not in the navigator screen. Okay, so that's why we were using root stack screen props. So here we also have navigation, and now for detail screen we also need to have params for our ID. So we have to get the ID from here, because otherwise how we are gonna know which item we are displaying, right? So we have to go to our root screen. Instead of using undefined right here, we will get a ID param. So now this detail screen will require a ID to be able to navigate to detail screen. So as you can see, we already got an error. So if we as you can see, there is already an error where we can see that detail screen has in this piece of code gives you an error where it says that it requires a ID. So let's type it out. As you can see, it requires a ID, and you have to pass ID here. So now it's happened. And now the question is how you are gonna know which ID has been passed to this screen. So let's go, and there is another object which is our route. So this will contain our all the params. This is our params, and this is our ID. So this right here is our ID. So if we type it out here, it will display our ID. So let's click. As you can see, we are getting our ID 1, 2, 3. So let's add this here as well, and here as well, and we will change the ID to, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You will see if we tap on this, you can see this is 4, 5, 7 and 4, 5, 6, and then this is 7, 8, 9. So that's how we are going to pass params. You can pass anything you want using this. Yeah, now we are navigating to our detail screen. So this is our detail screen design right here. So as you can see, this has a custom header and a background image, which is our details image, or the products image, which will be displayed full screen, as you can see. And then we have a bottom sheet right here. So let's focus on the background image and the header first. So as you can see, it doesn't use it's using a custom header. So we will add a custom header. First of all, we have to hide this header. So to hide this header, we have to go to our root stack navigator, and let's copy this and paste that here. So it's just setting that header shown to false. That's why the header has been hidden. So yeah, that's how you can hide the header. And now let's add a style here. Style should be flex 1, and let's add our header. So this will be let's add a safe area insets, because as you can see this is avoiding the navigation bar. So we have to add a safe area in safe area view. Safe area view from React Native safe area context, and the edge we want to avoid is going to be top. We only want to avoid the top safe area. So that's for that. And now let's add a row, because this is a row. So let's add style for that. Style is going to be flex directional row, and our align item should be centered. Let's remove that. Okay, so now we have to add our first button, which is this back button, but before that let's add our background image. Okay, so let's just get our that button from here, because we already have a round bordered button. As you can see, this bordered button, so we will just copy that to reuse that icon. So let's go to here. This is the notification button, and let's add it here. Let's navigate back, and there we are having some error. So let's import touchable opacity, then let's import our colors. Colors will come from use theme, and we have to import our theme. So for theme we are using expo theme, expo vector icons, sorry. Let's save it. So now you can see we have our button right here. So we have to have a padding horizontal of let's see, so it is around 20 pixels. So let's add 20 pixels of padding in the both left and right. And for vertical padding, I am assuming that this is also 20 pixels. So let's just make the padding top, bottom, left, right, everything to 20 pixels. Now it's looking great. And the icons should be arrow left, or let's see, arrow backward, back. Yeah, that looks nice. So now let's add the background image. We will come back to these two icons in a moment. Let's add the background image. After the safe area, let's add image. This is going to be React Native image, and the URI for this is going to be image from our home screen. So let's copy an image from our home screen. So let's see, let's use this image, and let's style it up. Position should be absolute, because we want to actually, you know what, let's make it flex 1, and let's add let's make this safe area absolute. Position should be absolute, top 0, left 0, and the right is going to be 0 as well. The bottom should not be 0, because it will take whatever the height requires for its children, so we don't have to use that. So let's move these buttons after the image, and as you can see, we are we can see our background image. So let's change the background image to a different image. Okay, so that will work. And now we have to change our colors. As you can see, this the border color, we don't have to use custom color. We can use white for the border, and for this we can also use white right here. So now this is looking good. So now what we have to do is let's add a on press with a navigation dot go back. So this will navigate back to our home screen. Okay, so this is looking nice. So now we also need to have these two buttons for a heart button and cart button, add to cart button. So let's remove the button action and let's replace this with a favorite border. That's looking nice. And let's add another button for our add shopping cart. Yeah, that looks nice. And we also need to have a gap of let's say 8 pixels. That is looking great. And let's add a flex one between these so we can that will move everything. That will take up the entire available space. So you can see it. This flex one takes up this entire available space, and it's pushing the left button to the left side and the right buttons to the right side. So that will work for now. So as you can see, this is looking great so far. And let's change the status bar color. Let's change the status bar. Let's import status bar from expo status bar, and let's add a style for light. That should work. Now the status bar color is light and now it's dark. Okay, so now we are done with our the background image and our these buttons right here. So now let's focus on our bottom sheet. For that we want to use a bottom sheet. Let's import our bottom sheet. We are not going to use our bottom sheet modal. We have to just use our bottom sheet. I think the bottom sheet. Okay, so let's open up Chrome. Let's bring a tab here. Okay, so let's go to bottom sheet React Native. So there are two types of bottom sheet, a bottom sheet and a bottom sheet modal. So bottom sheet modal, whenever you press a button, the bottom sheet modal will come up and you can dismiss it 100%. So it will go away from the screen. But there is another thing which is bottom sheet, which will always be present. Like you can collapse it or you can expand it, but you can't hide it completely. So that's it. That's bottom sheet. So we will be using bottom sheet for this. So let's go to our uses, and as you can see, we have to import bottom sheet from bottom sheet here. So let's import that, and we also need to have a ref for that. So let's import let's use the ref, which we can use to close and open the bottom sheet, which actually we do not need. We don't need the ref. So let's use our snap points. Snap points is going to be 100 pixels, and another snap point is going to be let's say 600 pixels, and the initial snap point is going to be our 0, which is 100%, 100 pixels. And let's just have something to display. Okay, so now as you can see, we have bottom sheet. So another thing you can notice that we didn't have to open it by manually. because bottom stays open stays open by default, so we don't have to open it like a bottom sheet modal, so it's open. Okay, so now let's follow the design. So as you can see in the design, there is these gaps. Okay, so let's implement that. So we can implement that pretty easily by following this guide detach model. So as you can see, this is the same thing we wanted to add. So let's see. You can see this is our bottom sheet insets. So we have to, first of all, let's add the detached true. So let's add this flag, so this will make it detached. And then we have to have a padding for 20 pixels. Not there. Let's go. As you can see, this is our margin horizontal of 24 pixels. So let's add that. Style is going to be our container style. Oh no, that's just simplify. Let's add margin horizontal of 24 pixels. So now we got our this horizontal padding right here. So we also need to we also want to add the bottom padding as well. So for that, let's add insets, bottom insets of 100. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so let's import our insets from use safe area insets. This insets has all the safe area values like the top navigation bar and then bottom status bar, so we will use that. Let's add insets dot bottom plus our 20 pixels, and let's make our horizontal margin to 20 pixels as well. So now now you can see there is a gap, so that's nice. Let's make it 64 pixels. Okay, that looks nice, and let's decrease this to around 400 pixels. We will play with this value later. Okay, so now that is looking pretty similar to what we have here in the design. Let's change the border radius for that. I hope that's in the container style. The border radius is going to be 32, or maybe this is the background style. Yeah, that's in the background style. And let's make it 24. Yeah, 24 looks good. Nice. So now let's first of all, we have to add our background color. Background colors is going to be background color same as background. As you can see, this is a gray background color, which is our background color. So now let's work on our title. Let's add the title first, and let's add our styling, and we have to add a padding. Let's add padding of 16 pixels, and this should be our title. So let's copy our title from the home screen. Let's copy this and let's paste it up here, and let's add style. Font size should be 20 pixels. Font weight is going to be 600, and the color is going to be colors.text. That's looking good. Then let's go to our next section, which is this section. This is a row, and this is a column. Okay, so let's add a row first, and another. Let's style flex 1, and let's work on first. Let's first work on this counter thing. This is going to be a view. Style would be flex, direction should be row, and align item should be center, and then gap should be 4, or let's add 6, and let's add a touchable opacity, and let's add an icon. Name should be let's see, material icon. Check. This is remove. Okay, remove. The size should be 20 pixels, and the color is going to be colors dot background color, because our buttons color is going to be let's see, because the containers colors is going to be the text color, so the background color is going to be our colors dot primary color, which is black. And we got an error because we were using text without a text field. So this is, I think this is for that. Yeah, so this is our minus button right here. So we have to add a background color of colors dot background or curved color, and the width is going to be, let's see, what is the width. Width is around this is like 44 pixels. Okay, so let's add 44 pixels. Height or aspect ratio is going to be 1, and align item center, and justify content should be centered. So that looks nice, and let's make it text color, so that is also looks nice. And let's add border radius of 44. That is looking nice. And let's make this row. The X direction should be a row here, and align item should be centered, and gap should be 8 pixels. That will push this to the far right side, because we are using flex one here. And let's add a padding of 4 pixels, and border radius of 100 pixels, so that will make it border. Okay, so now let's increase it to 6 pixels, and this is the divide, the minus button or decrement button, and let's make a plus or add, and this is our increment button, and this is our decrement button. And between these two buttons we will have a text field with let's say on. Let's style it up. So this will have a font size of 16 pixels, font weight of 600, and the color is going to be the colors dot text color or background color. I would say that's looking good. So now actually we made a mistake. This is like 32 pixels height, so let's add 32 pixels instead of 40 pixels. So let's add 32 or 34 pixels. Yeah, that looks good. That is nice. And let's add a counter state. Count state. Count would be 1 by default, and let's add one press here. Okay, not there. The bottom sheet. This is decrement. So on press, the set count is going to be count minus 1, and for the increment button this is going to be count plus 1, and let's replace this with our count. So as you can see, we are decrementing and incrementing, but we can also decrement it to negative value or below zero, and we can increment it to infinite number of count. So let's work on that. We have to clamp this. This is going to be math dot max. The maximum value we will take is 1 and count. So this is going to be the maximum value. This will take the maximum value between these two values, like when count is, let's say, 5, then the 5 is greater than 1, then this will return 5. Otherwise, when count is -5, and that in that case 1 is going to be greater than -5, and then this will return 1. So let's see, if we decrement it below 1, it will stays 1. This won't decrement below 1. Let's do same thing here, but this time we have to use math dot minimum value. Minimum is going to be 10, and max, and that will make it so it won't go above 10. So yeah. Okay, so now let's start working on this rating component. So let's this will be our rating component. So let's first add these 5 stars inside a view. Let's create a new array of 5, then fill it with empty, and then map it. Return an icon, and then let's the name would be let's see, I is less than 3, then it will return a star. Otherwise it will return a star bordered, and the color is going to be let's see, some yellow color, and the size is going to be 20 pixels, and this is our stars. So let's change the direction to flex direction to be row, and that is a row, and let's add a gap of 2 pixels. That's looking good. And after that, let's add a text component with, let's say, 3.0 rating with 250k reviews. So let's style this. The font size is going to be 14 pixels. The font weight, let's work on the color. So the colors is going to be color text, and the opacity is going to be 0.5, and let's add a margin top of 4 pixels. That is looking pretty good. And let's add a margin top right here to around, let's add a gap. Instead of adding margin top, let's add a gap, and let's add gap of 16 pixels. That will put gap between every single component. And yeah, that's our rating, the rating plus our count component. And now let's move on to our next section, which is selecting the sizes. So let's first let's add a view or section, and let's add the title. As you can see, there is like 2 sections inside the title. So let's wrap it in a view with a style of text direction row and a align item to center. And let's add Model is 6 feet 1 inch. Model is 6 feet 1 inch, and size is medium. Okay. And there will be another text which is going to be our size guide. So let's style them up. First, let's add a flex 1. So this title will take the entire available space, and then let's add font size to 16 pixels. Font weight would be 600, and let's add color to colors.text. That's looking great, and let's add also color of colors.text and add a opacity of 0.5, and that is looking good. And this is also going to be uppercase, so text transform is going to be uppercase. Nice. Okay, so let's move on to the next section, which is the selector section. Let's add like the font sizes. It's going to be XS, which is extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, XXL, and 3XL. Okay, so that's our 3XL. So these are the available sizes. So let's add use straight. So size is going to be sizes 0, which is extra small. That will be our default size. So let's do a map. Before that, let's add a view, and then do our map. Sizes.map each size, and also our index, and let's add a view or touchable opacity. Okay, so let's first let's add the key of I and on press. The style, the set size is going to be this size, or let's rename this to icon or S for our size, because we already have a size variable right there. Okay, so let's add a text, and this will be S. As you can see, we are displaying all the sizes. So let's make the flex direction row, and the flex wrap is going to be wrap. So it will wrap to the next line if it doesn't have enough space. Let's add a gap of 8 or 6, and let's style up our button. The width is going to be, let's calculate the width. The width is going to be around 44 pixels. So let's add 44 pixels. Aspect ratio of on. Align items would be centered. Justify content is again going to be centered, and our background color is going to be let's say if S is equals to size, then our background color is going to be colors.primary. Otherwise the color is going to be our colors.card color. Okay, so as you can see, it's changing the color right here. Let's remove the aspect ratio. Let's add height of 44 pixels. Yeah, nice. And let's add border radius of 44 as well. And let's work on the text. Let's add color first. So S is equals to size, then the color is going to be white, otherwise the color is going to be the text color. See, nice. And let's add font weight of 600, and let's add font size of 16. Nice. As you can see, this is wrapping. So that looks nice. Let's add a margin top here of 6 pixels, and that is looking great. Nice. So now let's work on the description. So this is our so this is our style size selection center section. Sorry. Let's work on our description. So let's add title. This is going to be our description, and we also need to have a body. So let's add some lorem ipsum paragraph. Okay, so that is going to be our description. So let's add style. Font size is going to be 16. Font weight is going to be 600, and let's add a margin bottom of 6 pixels. Nice. So now let's also add color of colors dot text. Okay, let's style up our description. So the color is going to be colors dot text, and the opacity is going to be 0.5 or 0.75, and let's add max number of lines is going to be 3, so it won't take more than 3 lines. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. And let's this is our description section, and let's move on to the our add to cart section. So this is going to be a row, selection row, and the align items should be centered, and let's add a gap of 16 pixels. And the first section is going to be a view. Let's add a flex 1 so that the first section takes the entire available space. And then let's add a add to cart section button. This is going to be touchable opacity, and this button is going to be the same button as our this add filter button, so we can just copy that button. So let's go to our filter view, go down, and this is the button we want. So let's add that here. So let's remove theme, because we extracted colors from the theme. So that is our button. Let's see if there is anything we need to import. No. So let's save that, and this is our button. So we have to increase our the height of the model or the seat. So let's increase that. Let's increase that to 600. That is too much, so let's add 500, and that looks good. Let's add spatial between this. Let's add a view of style of flex 1 that will move everything, but there is still some padding right here, so we have to work on that. So let's see, let's add a padding of 0, and this is background. Let's add a padding of 0, that won't work. Let's add style container or container style. Let's add padding of 0. Okay. There is like content height, container height. this is happening because of the safe area context. So we have to let's try to move. Okay, let's keep it here, and let's try set a background color. So let's see. As you can see, there is space, so that's why there is a gap. So let's try to add a background color here. So that's not taking that space. So let's add container style and see if we can see the background color. Nope, this is not caused by the background side. So let's add padding 0 or padding bottom 0, because let's see, or blue. As you can see, this is taking that space. So let's see, handle style, container style, handle indicator style, and let's there is nothing. So let's try wrapping it with a safe area view. Let's see. So this has to be let's add style set dot absolute fill. No, it's still showing me that bottom padding. That's not working. So let's try a different thing. Okay, let's try flex one. Okay, so now yeah, that did work. Okay, so we had to use flex one. My bad. Okay, so now this is taking the entire space. Let's okay, so let's fix the button style right here. So we do not have to use absolute positioning. We have to make a flex direction to use row, and let's add gap of 16 pixels, and let's add padding of 12, and let's, instead of adding gap, let's add padding horizontal of 16 pixels. Yeah, that's looking good. And now let's add to cart. I think that's what the label for that. Yeah, add to cart. Let's make the seat lower case. Yeah, that's it. That's our add to cart button. And now let's focus on the pricing section. Okay, so let's first add a text of total, and then add a text for the price. So let's add $, and let's add 2,500, and let's wrap it in our first bracket, and let's add fixed of 2. Okay, so this will okay, so to local local string. Yeah, so this will add a comma between the text. So if we add, let's say, lots of zeros, it will add commas like that. Okay, so let's style it up. Let's add style here. So color is going to be colors dot text, and the font size is going to be 18, and font weight is going to be 600. And same, let's copy the color, the style from there. Nice. And let's add a margin bottom of 4, and that is looking great. Let's add 0.00 as well. Okay, so it's not showing. Okay, so nice. Okay, so I think I'm done with this section. So the details section, details space, I think it's working pretty good so far. Yeah, let's move on to the filter section. So let's work on the range selector. So let's go to our filter view, and to use the range selector, let's create a custom component first. So instead of working on this file, let's create a component for price range selector.tsx rnfa. Let's move the code for range selector from here to there. We want lots of things like theme is going to be our use theme, and then let's add a prop like minimum price, a number, a max price, be a number, and minimum price, max price, and or let's do minimum price, max price, start price, and end price. Okay, and we also need to add on start price change. Let's add a value of number void, and on end price change value of number is going to be white. Okay, so let's grab them here: minimum price, max price, start price, end price, and on start price change, and on end price change. Nice. So this is going to be our, this minimum price is going to be our start price, and the max price is going to be our end price, and this is going to be our max price, and this is also going to be our max price. Okay, this is also going to be our max price, and this is going to be our minimum price. And let's copy the handle from here, think this is nice. So now let's go at the top and let's add the range of price range selector. So the minimum price is going to be minimum, which is going to be 0. Max price is going to be our max price, and this is going to be our start price. And this is going to be our end price. So now let's add start price to start price and end price to end price, and on start price change it will trigger our set start price, and on end price change will trigger our set end price. So everything is basically the same right now. So yeah, so now let's work on the gesture. Okay, so let's add the gesture here. Okay, so this is going to be our animated view, React Native Reanimated, and then on gesture let's wrap it with our gesture handler. Let's wrap it with our gesture handler, and let's let's wrap it with our gesture detector, and let's add a gesture, and the gesture is going to be const start handle. Gesture is going to use gesture handler, use animated gesture handler, and we will on active, and we need on start as well. Okay, so let's add that. It's going to be animated gesture, so let's see. I don't think we need to use a gesture detector. Let's see, event, pointed event, sorry. Let's Google it. I forgot. Use animated gesture handler. Yeah, we have to let's set a pan gesture detector. Pan gesture, it's going to be pan gesture. Okay, and then there is our on gesture event. This is going to be a pan gesture handler, and there is our on gesture event. So now let's work on that. So let's add some use shared value. So const left handle position is going to be use shared value of, let's add our minimum price, or let's add 0, and whenever we drag, let's change the left hand position to our event dot transition x. The value, position dot value is going to be that. Okay, so let's add animated style, const left handle style is going to use animated style, and then transform. Translate x is going to be our left handle position dot value. Okay, so that is nice. Okay, so if we add that style to our to here, so it's going to, the left is going to be 0 by default, so we don't need to use that anymore. We can just add that animated left handle style. So if I now drag it, now you can see we can animate, drag it. So yeah, so as you can see, this is starting from the 0. Every time I'm trying to drag it, it starts from the 0 position. So that's because we have to keep track of the previous position. So let's add it to the context. So let's add previous position to be a number. I think that's okay. So let's add context dot what's wrong, so it's supposed to take the previous position. Not sure what's wrong. Okay, so let's see. So pan gesture handle. Okay, so we have to add a pan gesture handler event, and then we have to add our previous position there. So now we can get our previous position. So let's add event dot transition x. So this will add our previous position to our this variable. So now we have to get that from our context dot previous position plus event dot translation x. Or actually this is going to be our left handle position dot value. My bad. So now if we start, it won't start from the 0. So as you can see, we can drag it easily. So now let's see why there is 3 handle. So that's because we this is also a handle, so we have to remove this. We don't need that. Okay, so now let's see, we can easily drag it pretty easily. So now let's clamp it, because we can, as you can see, it's it can go below 0, and it can also go above 500. So let's clamp it. So to clamp it, we need to get the width of this bar. So let's add a state here. Use state bar width. By default it should be 0, because we don't know the bar width. So now let's add bar width 0, and let's see, this is the bar. So let's add on layout. So it will give me an event, and let's set our bar width to event dot native event dot layout dot width. This will give us the width of the bar. So now when we are navigating now, or when we are dragging it, it should not. Let's clamp it to our math dot maximum 0, and then add that here. It won't go below 0, or you can say below 0. And we also need to clamp it with math dot minimum bar width and that value, so it will not go above that bar width. so it will now clamp. Now we are clamping. Nice. And let's do the same thing that we did for the left handle. Let's do it for the right handle. So now let's copy this and let's add right handle position, and let's copy this for I'm sorry, so this is going to be a right handle gesture, and let's duplicate that and let's call it right handle style. Okay, so now let's wrap this with a pan gesture handler, and on gesture is going to be right handle gesture, and let's make it an animated view, and let's add the style, and that's going to be our right handle style, and let's remove our left position there. So as you can see, this is there is only one gesture. Okay, so this is going to be our right handle position. So now we have two, I'm sorry, so yeah, this is updating the right handle. So this is going to be our right handle position dot value, and that is going to be our right handle position dot value. So now we have two handles, a right handle and a left handle. So nice. So now let's work on, as you can see, let's close it up and let's reopen it. So let's as you can see, so it starts from 0, the two handles starting from 0, but we have a minimum value here. So we have a start value and a end value. So let's let's update that using a use effect. So it will not start from 0. So let's add bar width here. So if bar width is 0, we will return from this, we won't do anything. And let's add start left handle position is going to be the left handle position is going to be, let's say, there is like the max position, and then there is let's see, so it's going to be, let's say, 10 if the bar width is 100 and the start position is 10, then we have to let's see. Okay, so it is going to be start price multiplied with our bar width by our max price. This is going to be the left handle position. Let's see, yeah, that worked. So now this is our start position. So as you can see, this is our start position for the left handle, and let's do the same thing for the right handle, and this is going to be our end price, and that will put that there. So this is our start price and this is our end price. And there is another bug that we can move our start price, the start price should not be more than the end price, right? So we have to clamp it right here. So we can do that pretty easily by adding, instead of adding a bar width, we can add let's say right handle position dot value. So that will clamp it. So as you can see, we can't go above, go to the right Okay, so we are clamping here. So if we put our end price there, then you can see it will not go, it will not pass the right price or right handle position. So we have to do the same thing for the right handle. So that will be, instead of adding 0 here, it will be left handle position dot value. So it will not pass the left handle position, as you can see. Okay, so nice. So now let's move the bar color. So this is the bar right here. So we want to change the width or change the position of that too. So let's remove this and let's add left handle position dot value. And first of all, let's copy it and let's create animated style. Const bar highlight style is going to use animated style, and let's put it right there, and let's add that style and make it animated view. So now you can see it's the left position is following the left handle, and the width is going to be instead of adding width, we can add right, and the right is going to be the bar width minus the right hand position dot value. Okay, so now so it's not working, so it is going to be our bar width. Okay, so bar width minus so that should work. Oh, the reason it is not working because we have a width. Okay, so no, it's not because of that. So let's see, we have a height 100 pixels, and let's see. So it's going to be it's not working for some reason. So if we put right to 0, as you can see, it is staying. So there is some problem with this. So let's try to figure it out what's going on here. So we do not have a width. Okay, so now let's add. We just had to restart the application value. This is going to be bar width minus the right hand value. So as you can see, now it's following our right handle. So nice. Pretty cool. So now that is there, we also have to update the price range. So this is just animating based on the bar width. So we have to get the price of that position. So now let's add the price. So this is our minimum price, this is maximum price, and let's for now let's add some text. So let's add our start price this is just for demonstration. Start price, and let's add our end price. So this, as you can see, this is not updating our start price or the end price, so we have to update it. So we have to update it here. So we have to this is running, this function is running in our UI thread, so we have to run, we can't change directly like set on start price change and change the value, so that will give us an error. So we have to do it on our JS thread, like run on JS, and we have to add our the function name right here, and then here we can change the price or change the value of it. Let's change it to 100. So now you can see this has changed to 100. So now this has changed to 100. So we can calculate. So now let's calculate the price. So the calculation will be pretty similar to this. So now let's see what we can do. So now we know our left handle position and the bar width, so now we have to calculate the price. Okay, so the price is going to be let's see, bar width by max price multiply with our left hand position dot value. So let's try it. Let's close it and reopen it, and it's not work. Okay, so it is working. So it is 0. As you can see, this is not correct, so we have to so let's see. So the bar width is maximum height, maximum price, then left handle position will give me the price at that position, so that it should work. Okay, so it should be bar width max price by bar width. My bad. So now let's see. Yeah, now it is working. So 0, and this is 50, and this is 250 because the right handle is 250, so it's 250 right here. So now it is working. Okay, so let's do the same thing for our right handle. This is going to be on end price change. It will be same thing, but right handle position dot value. Okay, so we have to restart the model. Okay, so now we can see this is 500, the max price, and this is 50, so it is also working. Pretty cool. Okay, so now that is done, let's we are not going to display the start price and the end price like this. Let's see what can we do. As you can see, it has that handle has a price value. So let's try to add that. So it is going to be pretty easy. So let's add a text component right here inside the slider handle. The slider handle will take a value which is going to, value is going to be string, or let's add label because this is a label, and let's add that label here. And this label is going to be let's wrap it with a view, and let's add position will be absolute and make this position relative. Okay, nice. So let's add a label of let's see, $1 and our start price, and this is, and add the same type of label for the end price, but end price. So as you can see, we are okay. So let's restart it, and we are getting something. So let's style it up. So let's add so instead of just using the price, we can do a fixed pricing, like with 2 numbers, or we can do, okay. So let's add position absolute, and it will be bottom. The top will be, let's say, 20 pixels or 24 pixels. Yeah, that looks good. And let's wrap. The style would be wrap text. The number of lines is going to be 1, and for some reason it's taking the width of that view. So the width is going to be feet. I don't think there is anything for feet. Yeah, the width will be, let's say, 200. Let's do 200. Okay, so now, and let's add align items. Align items will be centered. Nice. So okay, so we have to restart it again. Nice. We also do need to, we don't want to use point values right here. So let's round it up, and so we will not get decimal values. Math.round this up as well, so it will not give us so as you can see, now we are not getting any round values, or I'm sorry, not getting any decimal values, so we do not need to do this. Nice. There is another problem, which is it's as you can see, this is overlapping with that $0. So I don't know what we should do about that. We can do one thing. We can do, let's see what we can do. Let's add a style and add a background color of, let's say, theme dot colors dot card color. Okay, so now the background color is not working, so let's add another view with that style. Okay, so it is also not working. Let's try with our red color. Oh, because this is that 0 is above this thing, so we can fix that pretty easily by just adding a z index of 10 right here. So if we try to, yeah, okay, so now it's not working, still not working. So we can do is, okay, so why is it not working? So let's add another z stack, z index of 10. So let's actually move it inside the bar. Okay. And instead of let's make it position absolute. Top is going to be the same as here. We were using 24, and for the minimum price the left should be 0, and for the maximum price the right should be 0. So let's see. Okay, so it's not going to be 24, it's going to be 12. Yeah, that is okay. And now we are covering that. Nice. So that worked. And we also need to have some margin bottom. Margin bottom is going to be around 16. Okay, so nice. And make it 22 or 24. And this is going to be, let's try with 20 or 14. Yeah, now this is perfectly aligned. Okay, so now let's change this color to theme.colors.card color, and the text color is going to be color is going to be theme.color.text. Let's try it out again. So now it's not overlapping, it's just hiding. Nice. Well, let's just remove this minimum and maximum value. That's not looking that good anyway. Yeah, let's just yeah, that is looking pretty good. It's looking cleaner now. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. Okay, so now let's see. You can see this is not okay. So now let's I don't know if we should work on this. Let's see. So we can do that. Okay, actually let's do that. That won't be pretty hard actually. So let's try to do that. We can do that by let's first work on the bars. So let's add view. Let's add new array. Let's add new array of max price by 20 to round math.round to round it up, and then let's do a fill of, we don't want anything, let's dot map it, and then let's add a view, and let's take the index and add the key, and then let's add style, and the style is the this is going to be a flex one, and the height is going to be math.random multiply with 4. So the max height will be let's see, 16 pixels, or I think the max height, let's add max height of 48 pixels actually, 48 pixels. Okay, and also let's do a math dot round. So let's not let's add round there, and let's add some color, a background color, comma, and background color would be, let's add red. Okay, so so actually we have to do flex direction should be row, and now it's so now we have to align them, or actually we have to align them to end, not in the same flex end. So now you can see it's looking pretty similar to that, and we also need to as you can see there are some values which is pretty close to 0, so we don't want to go to 0, so we want to clamp again math dot max, which is going to be, let's say, 20 pixels, so it will not go below 0. Or we can do another thing, which is going to be let's see, 0.2 multiplied with 20 and or by 20. Okay, so yeah, we can do this is 32, and then plus 32 plus 48 minus 32, which is going to be 16. So that will be, minimum value is going to be 16 and the maximum value is going to be 48. This will just okay, sure. There are actually lots of blocks, so let's decrease the amount of blocks by dividing it with larger values like 40. So now this looks pretty good. Okay, so now let's see. So as you can see, whenever we change the state, it will regenerate this array. So we don't want that. So let's grab it and render it inside a memo. So let's do our bars like that, and we can use a memo to generate this, and we will use our empty array so it won't change. So let's just add that there. and now if we change our pricing, it will not change the randomness. So now we have to clip the bars like this. So to do that, we have to clip it. We need to use same thing as this one. So let's add a view. Let's style it up with background color of blue. The width is going to be 1000, and if the position is going to be absolute, and the right is going to be 0, and the height is going to be 48, and now this is that, and then bottom is going to be 0, or the bottom is going to be so the bottom is going to be 0. So this handle has a size, you can see, 24 pixels, so the bottom is going to be 24. So now you can see it will move with that thing, and the right is going to be negative the right is going to be 24 or 12. So yeah, so now you can see it is moving with this circle. And simply if we change the background color to colors theme.colors card color, it will seems like it's clipping. So as you can see, I think this is pretty cool. So now it's clamping. We have to do similar thing for the right handle, but it will be left. The clamping will it is going to be left instead of right, and the other things will be same. It's going to be negative 12. Yeah, so now you can see it's clamping pretty well. And let's make the value to 50 instead of 40. Make this value, or let's go, yeah, this should be 50. So now let's see. So now this is looking pretty good. Okay, and let's make it 48, and let's make it 8, and let's make it 40. And I think this is looking pretty good. And let's work on the color as well. I don't know if the color is how he is intended to use this color, but I will use this like if the value is near 40 or near the maximum value, it will be darker, and if it is near to 0, and that will be a lighter value. So the background color should be a blue color. So let's use our colors, Tailwind colors, blue, and let's add that blue color, and we will simply use opacity for this. So let's see. We can simply use opacity, and let's make it a return statement, and let's use random value is going to be this, math.random, we will use that random value instead of, and now we will add that random there. As you can see, this is like almost 48, so it's almost 1, so it is more highlighted, and this is near 0, so it's less highlighted. Let's reopen the model. Nice. Also there is like we can see this is like 8 pixels. Okay, so now let's fix that. 16 28 minus 16, which is going to be our 32 pixels. But okay, so this is like near 0, so we have to clamp this. Math.max is going to be 0.3, and again math.minimum is going to be 0.9, and then our random value. So now this should be good, and now this is going to be 8, and now this is going to be 40. Okay, so now let's see. Yeah, now this is looking pretty good. I think yeah, that's looking pretty good. For that, let's change the bar color to blue as well, because as you can see in the design he's using blue for the bar color, so let's use the same color for our bar. And let's go to our instead of using the theme primary color, let's use our bar color. And for the handle, let's use bar color as well. So instead of theme primary, let's use our bar color. Nice. Okay, so now that's looking pretty good. And let's also clamp it to, let's say 7. Yeah, so that let's clamp it to 2 and 5. Yeah, now this is looking pretty good. Let's just do one thing on 0.3, 0.1 multiply with 0.3 and multiply with 0.5. Oh, actually that should be pi, or let's see. Okay, so it should be okay, so this would work. Nice. So let's move on. Let's change the border radius as well, because we are using the default border radius, so that would be pretty easy to do. So let's go to our home details section, because we are using the bottom sheet inside our home. So let's change the background style. Is going to be our border radius is going to be 24. So now that is looking pretty similar to this style. And now what is left it to do? Okay, so let's so that filter is done, and our detail screen is as well. Our detail screen is also done, and let's work on Let's work on the navigation, because we have to work on the navigation as well. So let's see, this is the design. So the active home button is the label is shown, and others are hidden. So let's work on that. So let's go to our tab screen. Let's add our tab bar. So it's going to be our custom tab bar. So let's create a custom tab bar. Custom bottom tabs .tsx rnfe, and it will take props, bottom tab bar props, which will come from bottom tabs, React Native bottom tabs. So now let's use our get the props and render the tab, and let's import it first, and let's spread the props like that. Make sure you named it correctly. And now the bottom tabs has been gone. So now let's we have to make our own tabs. So first of all, we have to use our safe area view. Safe area view. So let's import it from React Native safe area context, and we will only use the bottom edge, bottom. So it will add padding to the bottom, and let's add a view, and let's map it with descriptors. What is this? Descriptors and navigation dot. I forgot. Supposed to have, we have insets, navigation, supposed to have a state and dot, okay, so dot routes dot map each route, and we have to add our own touchable opacity. So let's add touchable opacity there, and let's add our route dot name, and let's add a text value. So now you can see we have a home card profile, and let's first add key. So key would be route dot key. So now we have a home card, payment, and profile. So if we do on press, and let's add a route. So let's see which we can use. We can use route dot name. So let's do props dot navigation dot navigate route dot name. So now we are navigating between screens. Nice. So now let's add flex style. Flex direction should be our row, and align items should be centered, and justify content should be okay. Let's not use that. And nice. So now let's add style here as well. So we have to use flex 1, align items should be centered, justify content should be centered, and flex direction should be row. Nice. And then we have to use icons. So I'm pretty sure it should have an icon. So params, state, okay. Okay, so it doesn't have an icon property. Okay, so let's we can add that. Okay, so now let's add a view, and let's add icon tabs. We need to import the icons from expo vector icons. suppose the name is going to be home for now. The size is going to be 24 and the color is going to be, let's import theme for the colors. Colors is going to be use theme colors dot text. So now you can see this is our icons. Let's add style. Let's create this circle. The width is going to be 32 and the height is going to be 32 as well, and align items should be center, justify content center. And let's add background color. Colors dot primary, and that, and let's add white here. Let's add border radius to 32 as well, and that let's make it 36. Nice. And let's add style margin left should be 4, and font size is going to be 14. Font weight is going to be 600, and let's add font size to 12 instead of 14. Okay, so that should work. And let's add a active state. Const is active is going to be route dot name is equals to props dot state dot I think this should be key. So that is our active. So we will display our route name if it is active, and we will display our name. Okay, so that is not clearly working. So the state is going to be our route names, which is going to be our string list of strings, routes, state, still, and then type. Okay, so now let's go with index. And let's see. Yeah, now it is working. So now you can see it's showing and hiding. So now let's add some more conditions. If it is active, only then we are going to set the background color to primary, otherwise it's going to be transparent. And same thing for the color. If it is active, then the color is going to be white, otherwise the color is going to be colors.text. Nice. And let's add a padding, vertical padding for each. And this color is going to be, let's say this color is going to be, there will be a style. That style for opacity is active 1, otherwise it is going to be 0.5. Nice. And also let's change the icons to be, let's say route dot name is going to be home. Home, then the name will be this is going to be home. If route dot name is let's see what other names do we have there. So we have cart. This is cart, then this is going to be shopping cart. Okay. Otherwise the route dot name is going to be payment. then the icon is going to be wallet, and otherwise the icon is going to be person. So now this is, and let's instead of using touchable, let's use touchable highlight. Or let's just use traceable, so we don't need to show the tap animation. Okay, so nice. Okay, so now that's done. Let's work on adding dark mode. It will be pretty simple. Let's add this. So first of all, we have to know that if it is a dark theme or light theme. So let's get that from our React Native color scheme. Color scheme is going to be use color scheme. It will become from React Native color scheme, and so if color scheme is dark, we will return a dark theme, which is going to be our dark theme, which will also come from React navigation. Let's see. So this color scheme is light or dark, so we are checking that if it is dark, then we will return a dark theme, otherwise we will return a light theme. But as you can see, it's not working because by default Expo says the user interface color to light, so we have to make it automatic, so it changes the color based on the device's color. So now we have to restart our server. So let's restart it. Okay, so let's run it again on our device. So we have to close it, and let's run it again, and voila, we have dark theme. So it's working fine, but you can see there are lots of errors or bugs we can fix. First of all, let's fix the status bar. So the status bar is going to be our color scheme is equals to, let's say, dark, then the status bar color is going to be light, otherwise it's going to be dark. So as you can see, it's dark, light. Okay, so we also need to pass it in the dependency array, so it updates when the color scheme changes. So now you can see it's updating. We also need to change some colors, like we have changed here. So we have to add let's add first dark theme default colors, and then we have to use our background color. So let's keep it like that. That is looking pretty good. We have to change the primary color to white, and that is also looking pretty good. And I think everything else, the text color is going to be white as well, and I think everything else is looking pretty good. As you can see, this is also looks pretty good, but there is still some elements that we need to fix. So let's start by our bottom custom tabs, and let's instead of using, let's say, white, we have to use colors.card here. So that will make it white, and now that is black. And we also need to add color here. So this should be colors.text, and now that has been fixed. Okay, so now let's move on to our so our card. So this is not working at all, so let's see what's wrong there. So first of all, we have to let's go to our home, and we have to give our background color, background style. Okay, so there we have to add a background color, which is going to be our colors dot card color. So now it's changed to our card color, so that's nice. Let's go to our filter, and we have to add color to the title. The color is going to be theme.colors.text. Nice. And let's copy it, because we have to use this in lots of places. And let's add opacity 0.5. Nice. And now let's go to our range selector. Let's add where is it? Yeah, this text. We have to change the color for this text to be theme.colors.text. That should change that. Nice. And I think everything else is should stays the same, because so we also need to change the bar color, as you can see right here. So we can change that from our home to the bar style, or the indicator style is going to be background color is going to be colors dot, let's see, dot primary color. Let's add that. Yeah, now you can see that this is the bar color. Let's copy our bar color from here, and let's move to our detail screen, and let's add the bar color in the detail screen as well. So let's go here, and let's add that bar color here as well. So now you can see this is our detail screen. And now let's fix this selector. So the color is going to be not white. This is going to be colors.card color. Nice. So now that has been fixed as well. And I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, so now let's go to our home screen and fix some sizing. Like this is looking pretty big, so let's reduce the size. So let's go to the card and add less padding, like 12 and 8. Okay, that is looking pretty good. Nice. And let's add smaller left and right. So now that is also looking pretty good. Okay, so now let's go to the this card, and let's change it from let's say black to white, or I think that it's looking good, but that has to be a card color. So this is background color, this should be a card color. Nice. That's looking pretty good. Let's reduce the size for this section. This is it, and let's make it 18 pixels. And for horizontal padding, let's add 12. That's nice. And now let's add 6 pixels of padding, and instead of adding padding, margin left should be 8, and that's looking pretty good. And now for the text title, as you can see, we can't see the title right here, so we have to add some, let's say, shadows, the text shadow. The text shadow color is going to be RGB A000 and 0.3, and then let's okay, so let's add text shadow offset of height is going to be 2 and width is going to be 0, and let's add text shadow radius is going to be 4. Okay, so let's reduce the opacity, and now you can read the text. Let's change it to, yeah, so now you can read the text if it is behind a in front of a white background. That's nice. Okay, so let's keep it white, black, because that's an image, so we want to use a black text, so it should stay in the same color. I think, yeah, this is looking pretty good. That looks pretty good. Or let's make it white, and we can do one thing. We can use that, make it 1 or 4, 3, 8. I think this is looking okay. Okay, so now let's move on to this shift section, because this is looking pretty big. So now let's go to our category selectors, and let's instead of 24 pixels, let's do 20 pixels and 12 pixels in height, and let's change it to 14 pixels for font size, and I think that should be good. That should be good. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And there is also this title. We have to add color for that too. So let's add colors to text, and also for the select or see all, we have to add color too. This color should be primary color. So now this is our see all section. I think we are done here. Thank you so much for watching this video as well. If you got anything from this video, then please do subscribe to this channel, and I will try to make more videos. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.